What's up? What's up? What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Guys, we are live here on April the 3rd. Yes, we're in a new month, 3 days in, 2020. As we continue, as my son comes to talk to me. Yes, sir.
Mommy's noticed sandwich.
Okay, go ask mommy, okay?
Okay.
So, one moment, guys. Yo, he needs you. All right, my bad. But we're here as we continue to work through these times. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button on your way in the room. First thing we always want to do is hit that like button, show your love and support. Few house cleaning things I want to talk about first. I appreciate everybody who does hit the like button, everybody who's new to the channel, who's subscribed. This month so far, we're already at about 20 subscribers. So welcome to the new 20 subscribers that we've gotten just in the last 2 days. That's not including today. I appreciate you all coming over to TDPHINSTALK and tuning in and enjoying yourselves. We got a lot to discuss. And thank you for all those who share the video. Let your friends and family members know about the video as well. That's a big reason why this channel continues to grow at fast levels. I also want to give a shout out to my Facebook family. Some people may not know this, but some of you all on Facebook aren't even subscribed to the YouTube channel. Come on over. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube as well. Some of you all may not have a YouTube, but welcome, welcome, welcome. I don't know if all my YouTube subscribers realize, but when we do these streams, if you look in the comment section, you'll find some people have a Facebook avatar. It's because they're watching live just like we are. I see one individual right now, Christopher Dew. Said Tua is not healthy. Herbert is our pick. Christopher is on Facebook right now. So we've been doing that for quite a while now. For those who don't know, we've been dually streaming on both platforms. So shout out to the Facebook family as well. Also, those who have been donating to the channel, I know I've been getting quite a bit of donations in the PayPal lately. I just want to say I appreciate you guys. I love you for your support to this channel. You're definitely helping this channel become bigger, better, and with better quality. That's the goal at the end of the day. Again, I have some stuff coming through thanks to a lot of you all pretty soon, and I can't wait to show you all that stuff if it gets delivered. And, everything's delayed right now. Also, all the Patreon members, I love you. I love you. I love you. I think we're up to about 20 Patreons now. Shout out to all the Patreon members. Those are the individuals who have been supporting TDPHINSTALK on a monthly basis with a pledge to help this channel grow. All 20 of you all, I love you, whether it's a $2, $4, $8, or $15 pledge. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your support to this channel, as always. And don't forget, if you are a Patreon member, because I know a lot of you Patreon members, you're supporting me to support me, and that's even better. It's crazy. You're supporting me just to support me, but it does come with a few perks and a few things that you can take advantage of. So when you go on to Patreon, make sure you check those things out. So if you want to take advantage of those, the options are always there. Want to make sure you're taken care of. I got some suggestions on the Patreon today from a Patreon member, and I'm going to work on that coming in next season. We're going to implement some of those things. I appreciate the feedback in that regards. It's actually a great idea. So I look forward to implementing that as well. Can't tell y'all yet, but y'all will see whenever it comes. And outside of that, man, thank everybody for tuning in, man. This is definitely becoming a place where we can actually enjoy ourselves and have some fun and hang out. I'm loving these days. It's been some tough times for a lot of us. I also want you all, I want to go side note real quick. I also want you all to make sure that you keep our fellow brothers and sisters in your prayers. Had 2 Patreon members today contact me that are positive, are definitely affected by the pandemic, and they're fighting it right now. And I've already said my prayers and spoken to them back and forth. Just keep our TDPHINSTALK family in your prayers, because no one's immune to this. No one's exempt, but let's do our part by, and this is one thing one of them said, everybody, I'm home. The exact words was, I'm home right now. Do your part by making sure that you adhere to the social distancing. So let's make sure that we do what we can do to minimize We don't want to be a group of individuals who's actually accelerating this. We want to be a group that's actually being helpful in this matter. So I appreciate all those who are practicing those things, and God bless you all. And I love you all. And we're all going to get through this together, man. We're all going to have faith, and we're all going to make sure we're strong together, ladies and gentlemen, strong together. All right. And that goes to my Fin fam, man. Fin fam. All right. PHINPHAM. Fin fam. All right. However you want to take it. Shout out to my Fin fam. All right. Love y'all. I want to talk to y'all today because I want to make sure, okay? We've been doing all this talk. We've been mock drafting. We've been doing this, doing that. We've been, just having fun, talking about what we can expect from our team. But, there's one thing that is sad in all of this. I personally feel like we're starting to lose focus. This is as a fan base. I can't say this for the team, and I hope that they're not. I think that we're losing focus, guys. If you really think about it, we do have a focus. We have a focus on something that we need to take care of. But it's the least area that we discuss. It's the least talked about area in Miami Dolphins football by any media member, including myself. And we got to stay focused. And let me see how focused we are. What area is that? Can y'all let me know in the comment section? I just want to gauge our current audience of over 130 people. What is that focus that we cannot lose sight of? Y'all let me know in the comment section. I'm going to read some of your responses, see if we're on the same page, man. We're going to see if we're on the same page. I'll give it about 10 seconds, and then I'll start reading the comments, all right? Let's see if we're all on the same page. Somebody said running back. Somebody said safety, tight end, punter, special teams. I know y'all got to be trolling right now. Like, I just read all five positions, and none of them was anything remotely close to the unit that we should be staying focused on. Guys, have we forgot about the offensive line? I know we mention it here and there. We sprinkle it in, grab the quarterback. Oh, there's a running back. We can use a nose tackle. Oh, we need to get a safety. And yeah, we definitely need to fix the line. But it's always the last thing we talk about. The biggest travesty that can happen in the draft in this season is getting a quarterback, getting a safety, getting a nose tackle, and we still have the same bummish O-line. What are we setting ourselves up to be proud of 7 wins? The focus, the number one focus, and it's been this way for years now. Even when we fixed it, it was the focus. We just had issues and other injuries and stuff. The O-line has been the focus. And when we start talking about our quarterback, we throw the O-line to the side and we start smiling wider than we've ever smiled before. And we start getting excited about bringing the right quarterback in. Didn't we have 21 of those things in the last 20 years? Being a quarterback? And this isn't a conversation to discredit the quarterback. We all know we need one. I don't care who it is. And to help some of y'all realize that I'm not discrediting the quarterback, I'll play along and say, even if it's Tua, we need a quarterback. We know that. We know we need a quarterback for the future. But let's keep it 100 here. Why is it that it's so easy for us to, because I have to be honest with y'all, I even find myself in the last 48 hours sitting on the couch watching a movie with my wife, doing what a fanatic does on a regular basis, thinking about the Dolphins. And I find myself going through the scenarios. What if we don't go pick at 5? What if we trade out and get more picks and we got 4 first-round picks? Oh, man, maybe it's the Raiders. We get 12 and 19 from them. Man, at 12, I'm going to grab this safety. At 18, I'm going to grab maybe Jordan Love. Man, at 19, I'm going to go ahead and grab me a nose tackle or this and that. And then at 26, should I get the running back there? And I ain't even think about the offensive tackle or another guard or even a center. I even get caught into that sometimes. And I was just thinking today, I was like, man, how easy, like we cry about it, we complain about it, we punch about it, we scream about it, we scratch about it, we watch games and are like, oh my gosh, we need an O-line. We need an O-line. Our need for an O-line is almost like taking years off of our life, how stressful it is. But yeah, we give it the least amount of attention during the entire free agency and during this offseason as fans. We've been so enamored with the quarterback and all these defensive monsters that's coming out in Simmons, Okudah, Chase Young. We can't lose sight about the O-line. We got to fix our O-line. We have to fix our O-line. Now, with that being said, I want to interact with you all because I want to get your take. I have the offense pulled up on the screen right now. If the league started today, this looks like it'll be our starting unit. Give or take, maybe a switch here or a switch there. And I want y'all to tell me, as my son is like beating the door down for me, so I'm going to check on him real fast because I don't know where my wife is. She was with him. But while I'm taking that 15 seconds to do that, I want y'all to really look at this O-line. And I don't want you to tell me what player needs to be replaced. But we need to talk about what we need to do here so we know. Because we have all this talk about Karras at center. No, move him to right guard, or Davis at right guard, or Dieter at left guard, or, all these conversations we have about where people should go. At the end of the day, we have to identify which position are we actually pursuing in the draft to be better at. So y'all take a look at that for 15 seconds. I'll be right back with you guys. It might have been 30 seconds, but y'all forgive me. But we're back, man. I want to see what y'all are saying, all right? Infinite Trauma said left tackle, left and right tackle. Okay. We don't need to trade no picks. Let me see. So what percent? We already heard one left tackle and right tackle. So I want to talk about this, and here's why. Okay? A lot of people don't believe in Julian Davenport that was a part of the Laramie Tunsil trade. I just think that if he can get stronger, he can actually be a 7 left tackle. I'm not going as far as saying 8.5, 9 and all of that, but I think that if he gets stronger this offseason, he can be a real solid left tackle. But I'm trying to figure out on this entire line, which positions, which 2 linemen are we definitely going to draft? Because I personally see 3 holes. But with the collective group, I see 2 holes. I see left tackle that needs an upgrade. I see right tackle that needs an upgrade. And I also see right guard that somewhat needs an upgrade because I think Karras is going to play center. I really do think Karras is going to play center. So we'll see how that turns out, all right? Man, I just Move the comment I was about to read. Let me see. Davenport is all right. I like Davenport too, but he does. I mean, EM said it once, and he does have a point. He definitely has to get stronger. There's no question about it. He has to get stronger. Let's see here. And shout out to my sister. She in the comment section. She said, hit that like button, y'all. And y'all better make sure y'all click on her channel and subscribe. Check out her new videos. What's up, sis? Pretty good, Chef Jew. But guys, like, what are we gonna do here? What should we do here? First, remember our first draft, TD. What should we do here? Like, tell me, is a safety more important than an O lineman right now? Yes or no in the comment section. Is a safety more important than an O lineman? I'm just curious. Y'all let me know in the comment section. So we need left tackle or right tackle for who? Josh Jones, 18th pick. No, it's not more important. But we talk about all these options we have. That's what's interesting to me, man. I'm going to be honest with you all. This is the primary reason why I would personally love, a lot of people would hate it, but I would love if the Miami Dolphins on draft day. The Miami Dolphins are on the clock with the number 5 pick. Doom, doom, doom. Oh my gosh. Trade just came through. The Miami Dolphins have traded the number 5 pick away to a team like the Raiders who have 2 first-round picks. Miami now will select at 12, 18, 19, and 26. That would be Christmas for me. There's other Christmas scenarios with the 3 picks, but it would be Christmas for me. The Miami Dolphins have the 12, 18, 19, and 26th pick. All 4, just from trading away the 5th pick. That would be Christmas. Heaven, however, whatever the high is, the greatest feeling. I don't know. Haven't felt it yet. Not that. But gosh, man, because you know what we can do with 4 first-round picks? We can get a quarterback. We can get 2 really good offensive linemen. And then you can either throw in your running back, your safety, nose tackle, however you want to look at it. However you want to look at it. But you got 4 starters to plug holes. I personally, once again, ladies and gentlemen, now listen, we're going to draft about 4 offensive linemen, okay? In all seven rounds, we're going to draft about 4 offensive linemen. I don't know how many centers, how many tackles, how many guards, but we're going to draft about 4 offensive linemen. I'm very confident on that. Matter of fact, I want to give you the mix. I think we're going to draft about 4 offensive linemen. We're going to get 1 wide receiver. We're going to get 1 running back. We're going to get 2 defensive linemen, but they're going to be kind of flex, defensive ends, defensive linemen, linebacker. It's like a duel. So I don't even count the linebackers. We're going to get a safety. And I think that's it. I literally think we're going to pick about 9 picks, and those other 5 picks are going to be traded up to some areas, or those other 5 will be traded in packages that will give us future picks for 2021. 2021. Someone said no sound, TD. Can you all hear me? Let me know in the comment section, yes or no. Can you hear me? I hope you all can hear me. Yes. Okay, good. James, it must be your end, James. It's not. Everybody else can hear me. It's your end, James. So you may want to log out and log back in. But that's what I think we're going to end up doing. I think those are the positions that we're going to address in this draft, because we want to rotate 1 young up-and-coming wide receiver every single year, regardless of the situation. And I think they got a good hold on the receiver position where we're at a point where we can keep rotating and drafting one every year. But that's where I think we're going to go with this. I sure hope we do. But I am telling y'all, with those draft picks, 3 offensive linemen. When I say 3, I want 2 of them to be within the first 2 rounds. And 1 of them to be a later project, preferably a guard. Preferably a guard. Listen, when it comes to tackles, y'all, you got to get some of the cream of the crop. Let's just call it what it is. There's not many tackles that are late round picks that end up becoming superstar tackles. You got to go after tackles, cream of the crop. Okay? And I think that we need to grab a guard, a project type guard later on in the draft. But early in the first 2 rounds, I would like to see 2 tackles or a tackle and a guard taken, just depending on what the team is feeling on this outlook, what we have on the screen right now, where they feel like they're going to place individuals. But again, we're also going to be looking for individuals who are talented in the sense that they can play multiple positions. And even if they can't play multiple positions, that they have the skill set where if you did switch them from a tackle to a guard or a guard to a tackle, they'd be able to adjust and be successful doing it. We already know Flores wants a team full of players who's not just a one-trick pony. The only player that needs to be a one-trick pony on this roster is the quarterback. And I think Flores wants an entire roster like that. He wants running backs that can run, but not only run, they could also catch the ball out of the backfield and maybe line up in the slot a few times if necessary. He wants wide receivers that can be able to come in the backfield on sweeps and run. He wants receivers that are able to block. He wants tight ends who can run, block, catch. It's spread out. He wants a left tackle who can play left guard. He wants a center who can play left guard and right guard. He wants a right tackle that can play left guard. He wants the diversity on this team. The diversity of being able to switch positions just in case our depth is so great, which that's the ultimate goal, having great depth, guys. When we get to the point where if we lose a player, we don't feel bad about it because we have so many other options that can do a good enough job to fill that void. That's what we're creating. That's what Flores is creating in Miami. But when you look at this offense, we've given it a grade last week of a C+. We have to figure out how we can get this to a B+ to start the season in this draft. Whatever quarterback we pick, it's not going to affect the grade because Fitzpatrick more than likely will be the starter unless Josh Rosen beats him out in camp. And right now, I'm going to be fair. It looks like Fitzpatrick's going to be the starter because Rosen has to come and wow everybody. So we'll see it. We'll believe it when we see it. So how can we literally make this improve the grade? We can't improve it at the wide receiver position because I don't see us drafting one of the top wide receivers early on with the needs that we have. We're not going to improve it at the running back position because bringing in Swift, Dobbins, or any of those guys, we'll have a really good back. But at the same token, Howard is a really good back. That's not going to change the grade. The only way that we change the grade on this offense is in the offensive line. I believe we need a right tackle in the first round. And I believe that we need a left tackle in the second round. That's my thoughts. We need a right tackle in the first round and a left tackle in the second round. Because I still believe in Julian Davenport. I think that I have to trust in Brian Flores. I have to trust that Brian Flores put on his list, you got to get stronger, kid. And he comes back stronger. Because I think that he has good technique. I think what I see, and maybe I'm going to take another look at Julian Davenport, more film going back. But overall, I kind of, and it's not like when I watch Julian Davenport, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, man, this kid has talent. What is ever? No, I watch him and I say, he can be good, but I could also be wrong. I'm just one who hasn't given up on him. I don't think anybody's given up on him, but he deserves that opportunity. But we're going to see how that all shakes out. I think the most important position, and it's not because of Tua being a left-handed person, but I think that we need to solidify the right side first. Jesse Davis has been consistently inconsistent, in my opinion. Some may disagree. I think that we need to find a home for Jesse Davis, keep him right there, and let him get better and better instead of the domino effect. I understand we want multi-talented players that can move around, but I prefer Jesse Davis to be put on the inside next to a strong tackle. So I would personally say right tackle is my first option. Left tackle is my second option. Then we go get a guard later on in the draft as a project, as backup depth, however you want to look at it. And we let in that right tackle being in the second round, possibly. He's not, we don't know if he's a day one starter, but he is a second round pick, and that's all the competition Davenport needs because he can lose his position to this second round pick if he's not up to par. I like the thought of creating competition right there. Because, guys, I'm not going to lie. We have to put more emphasis on this right tackle and left tackle because there are more and more dogs coming into this league at the defensive end position. There are more and more dogs coming into this league. Every year there's 3 new dogs added on to the ones that's already out there in this league, getting after the quarterback. Astronomical numbers that they're putting up. We gotta fix this O-line. We gotta have a cohesive unit that's gonna get it. Because I don't care how good the defense is. See, here's the difference. The Patriots won off of defense last year, the games that they won. But their offense was good enough to still contribute at times where they can get a few more victories. Because there were games that Tom Brady threw 0 touchdowns and they still won. But at the same token, they still were effective enough. We cannot sit here and be mesmerized at how much better our defense has gotten on paper and think that that's just supposed to carry us to winning games. It will be a travesty if our defense is that elite, but we get 0 production from our offense due to the offensive line play. As much as we talk about Devontae Parker's resurgence late in the season, Ryan Fitzpatrick's resurgence late in the season, as much as we talk about that, we got to also make sure that we realize the offensive line played a little better as well. Not great, but they played better. They played better football. They at least gave Fitzpatrick lanes to be able to create an escape. But that's why it's so important. We cannot afford to have a start like we did last year. 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. First down, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Oh, my gosh. I understand receivers drop balls early and things like that. But, again, we cannot have a start like we did last year. And I think we all can agree the number one – that's being unfair. A big part of our failures early in the season was, number one, in my opinion, the O-line, and number 2, our defense as a whole. But I think that we've gotten to a point where our defense should be so much better. So much better, man. And let me put this on the screen real quick. And real quick, I want to, if anybody, if you want to join this conversation for a brief moment, I'm not going to keep people on long, just so you know. I don't want people to think I'm being rude or mean to them. Not keeping anyone on long, but you can hang out backstage, and I'll decide if I want to bring some people in to talk about some of this. So I just posted the link in the comment section. So join the conversation if you like to. Any and everyone is welcome at this time. Any and everyone is welcome. All right. So we'll have in each person, we'll probably just do like 1 minute. I'll ask you a question, get your thoughts on it, then we'll move on. So I don't want anybody to think I'm being rude if I'm moving on from you or trying to push the conversation along, because I want to give multiple people opportunities. First person we got, Pony. What's up, man?
Hey, TD. Hey, did you want me to put the name of the simulator, or do you want a link for the simulator?
No, you can send me the link. Send it to me in the email.
Oh no, I sent it. I put the name of the simulator in the chat, but I forgot to put the link. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good, man. Whenever you can, I want to check it out. That way I can play with it and then be productive.
Honestly, I agree with you with Jesse Davis, but honestly, I see him as a death offensive lineman. I don't see him as a starter, to be honest. And I'd rather draft 2 offensive linemen in the first round if we end up drafting 2. Maybe draft Josh Jones and Lucas Niang and stuff like that. If we draft 2 at number 5.
So you said that you would prefer, who did you say, Josh Jones?
Josh Jones and Lucas Niang. Josh Jones at 18 and Lucas Niang at 26.
What is Lucas projected as, though?
Early second round pick.
Yeah, I figured that. And Jones is out of you talk about Houston?
Yeah.
I think he was number 73 or 74 or something like that, out of Houston. So I want to see if I can find where they're projected to go to get
Josh Jones. Actually, if you look at some of these draft boards are inaccurate. If you go to the most accurate draft board is Bleacher Report. They're projecting Josh Jones.
Yeah, that's what I use
in the first round.
But where that matters for us?
In the mid first round, like 18 to 25.
Let's see here. Let me pull this up. My bad. One moment.
Actually, Charles Davis, I went on NFL.com on the draft board. He projects him as a steal for us if we draft him at number 18, because for him, he projects him from 10 to 15. So that's a steal for us if we go by Charles Davis's draft board.
Yeah, let's see. Right now they have let me see, Josh Jones. Give me a second. Because things have changed quite a bit. Let me see.
He showed out at the combine, so he'll move up, not move down.
Yeah, he's a mid first rounder. So hit that like button and show TD and this channel some love. Appreciate you, Cloud Life, as always, homie. Thank you so much, man. So So where would you put Josh Jones?
Josh Jones, right tackle. Lucas Niang at left tackle.
And then how would you feel the middle?
Move Dieter into center.
Okay.
Have Karras at right guard.
Okay.
Have Eric Flowers at left.
And let Davenport and Davis serve as some form of depth.
Yeah, so like swing, where they can play any part. They can be swing offensive linemen, play at any point on the offensive line and stuff like that.
See, I wouldn't be opposed to that. It's just a matter of would we be able to get both of those guys in the draft.
Niang we can get Niang at 26.
Yeah, but do you think this team is going to be using 18 and 26 to get Jones and Niang? That's the issue.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, Anthony. I actually, just by me asking you that, I wouldn't feel bad if we actually went quarterback and then went 2 tackles in a row at 18 and 26. I wouldn't feel bad about that.
Where do they project? What's the projection for? What's his name? Andrew Thomas from. Would he be gone by 18?
As of the current mock drafts, no, he's not. Let me see where his most recent stock is falling. One moment.
He's my backup at 18, then moved.
Oh, no. He's been moving back up because I've seen him as low as 28 recently, and now they have him at 14.
Yeah. For if Josh Jones is gone by then, and Andrew Thomas is still at number 18, we draft Thomas. He's our left tackle, and have Niang as our right tackle.
Now he could slide to us because what people have to realize is, hey, let me say this. Here are the top 10 players in this draft. Okay, I didn't say who's going to be the top 10 picks, but here are the top 10 players in the draft. Number 1, the number 1 player coming out of college in this draft is Chase Young. Okay, a lot of people, I understand you want to say Burrow or whatever it may be. We're talking about player. The number 1 player,
overall,
not who's getting picked first, but the number 1 player coming out of this draft is Chase Young, okay? The number 2 player is Joe Burrow, followed by Jerry Jeudy at number 3.
Jerry Jeudy, a wide receiver?
Yes,
That's pretty.
Absolutely. I don't think many are going to argue that, but you can argue the simple fact that is that how it's going to go down, though? No, it's not going to go down that way. Number 4, Jeff Okudah. Okay. The number 5 player in this draft is Isaiah Simmons.
Where's
the number 6 player in this draft is Derek Brown. The number 7th player in this draft is Tua Tagovailoa. He's the 7th ranked player, of course, with the injury factored in. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, if you ask me, he's number 238, but that's me hating, and I'm admitting it that time. But he is and I agree with that, though. I really do agree that he is the 7th best player in this draft. And what's up, Pete, man? I want to bring Pete in real quick.
What's up, TD?
What's up, homie? You good?
Not much, man. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm listening to you guys, man. Appreciate it.
Hi, Pete. How are you?
I'm just hanging in, man. Listening to this Dolphin. I got a little talk about this lineup right here that you guys already formed up here.
Awesome, man. I'm gonna finish this point, and then we're gonna come to it, Pete. But that's what's interesting to me is the simple fact that when you really think of it, the top 5 players in this draft. It's mind-boggling to me. Let me explain what's mind-boggling. I know we get caught up on we want Burrow or Tua. I'm feeling now that I really do hope that we're going after Jordan Love or Herbert. The reason why I hope that we're going after Herbert or Jordan Love at 18, if we serve the purpose that we are going to get a quarterback, the reason I'm hoping that we do is because we're going to get 2 really good players before we have to pick at 26. So if we can get Herbert or Love at 18, do you know what that means for the number 5 pick? I mean, if you just look at the 5 top players, Chase Young, Joe Burrow, Jerry Jeudy, Jeff Okudah, and Isaiah Simmons, we get to get one of those guys.
Or
we get to get one of those guys. So, and if we go down to 6, Derek Brown is there as well. We get to get one of those guys if we're pursuing Jordan Love or Herbert at 18, whatever one falls, if that happens.
Can we trade up to maybe 13? Because
here's the issue with what I'm telling you right now. It still leaves us at a point of when are we going to get our tackles? That's the issue that the Dolphins run into. That's the dilemma. We'd all love these scenarios. If we can get Love or Herbert at 18 and get one of those guys at 5, that's huge. But again, We didn't touch the offensive line, so we have a dilemma there.
Yeah, I'll draft, honestly, like you're saying, I agree. I'll draft. I don't care if it's a reach. It's not a sexy pick. We're not picking a quarterback. I'll draft Andrew Thomas at number 5.
Andrew Thomas at 5.
Yes.
Yes. 100%.
Here's the issue that I have
He's
with
the
that.
most consistent offensive lineman in college football. I know he's not as flashy as Tristan Wirfs or Becton.
Here's the issue I have with that. Going Andrew Thomas at 5. You can see the screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
One moment. Let me make it bigger for those who can't, right? Here's my issue. Here's my issue with Andrew Thomas at 5. Okay? You can get him at 10, 11, or 12.
That's why I'm saying trade down for number 5.
And I get that, but first off, people do have to realize as well, it's going to be difficult to find the right partner to give the right price for that 5th pick. That is going to be difficult. Then it would have to be with a team somewhere around 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12 to feel good about having a chance to get Thomas. So does a team want to move up to number 5? Yeah, I mean, I could see that happening. You know what? I could see moving out of 5 just to go down about 4 spots. But at the same token, some would argue, here's the issue. Some would argue, well, if you're going to be moving back, then why wouldn't you be going after Jedrick Wills?
I honestly, I don't like. I watched his tape. I prefer Andrew Thomas over Jedrick Wills, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
When I look at Andrew Thomas, he's more technically sound than Jedrick.
Definitely. I definitely agree. Okay. I love Andrew Thomas. I'm a huge Andrew Thomas fan. And when I say that, I'm not saying, oh, Andrew Thomas, but I want Andrew Thomas to be a Dolphin.
Why do you think people are undervaluing Andrew Thomas? Do you think it's because he's not as a flashy as offensive lineman compared to like Becton or Wirfs or Wills? Is that what it is?
I have to be questioned. That's actually a good question. I haven't even followed it much. I just know that his stock has been falling. Remember, this is a guy that many thought that, hey, Andrew Thomas is going to be going at 4, 5, 6, or 7. And then all of a sudden he's going early teens. Then all of a sudden he's sliding all the way to the late teens. And then at some point a week and a half ago, he was all the way in the mid-20s on most people's projection after the combine and everything like that. But he started to move back up on some people's depth charts. Some people still have him late teens. But I don't think you can play around with, if that's your guy, you can't play around with that talent and think that you're going to get him at 20 just because people's big boards say 22 or 19 or something. You know, this is the guy that if you want him, you got to go up to about 12 to possibly feel good about having a chance to get him.
What's up, yo?
What's up with you, Esteban, man?
Not much, man. His stock's falling because of his footwork when he's blocking in space, man. He's real good at the point of attack, but it's when he's out in space that's why his draft stock has fallen.
That's what I'm saying. But I trust him more compared to like Becton or Wills or Wirfs. I can go with, but
Wills plays the right side though, bro.
On game film.
And Anthony, I'm going to move you out, but you can go backstage and I can move you back in once I get in rotation, okay?
Okay, thank you.
What were you saying, Esteban?
I said,
I was Wills plays the right side.
That was Pete. What were you saying, Pete?
That on game film, Andrew Thomas looks way better than Wirfs and Becton.
Mm-hmm. So and that's so is what,
and that's what I go by.
Do you think, Esteban, what you're referring to is the main reason he's been dropping?
Yeah, I just think what it is these teams are going to try to get a good contract with these guys, so they want to draft them in the mid to late round of the first round instead of in the top 15. I think that's what's going on with these tackles. But for some of the teams that already solidified at quarterback, they're probably going to end up taking their tackles early. That's the problem.
Because you don't have many options, man. If you really look at the best players coming out in this draft, guys, the first offensive tackle is at 8. That's 1. Then you have Andrew Thomas at 14. That's 2. Tristan Wirth at 17. That's 3. 3 offensive tackles. When you talk about the best players in this draft, and you got to wait all the way to 42 for Austin Jackson at USC. So if I'm sticking in the first round, you got 3 offensive tackles, guys, and I couldn't see us taking the 26th pick and getting an offensive tackle. We're at 18, right where Tristan Wirf's projected. You know, and I know he can slide, but he can also go up, be drafted quicker. You know, a lot of these teams need tackles. So Andrew Thomas should be a target, and also Jedrick Wills. But here's the deal. We're going to have to see. I think that the number 5 pick is going to have to be in play if we want to secure one of those guys. Otherwise, we're taking the 18th pick. Now, here's something that we haven't talked about that may be an option. Taking the 18th pick, going ahead and reaching way in our book bag, in our backpack, and saying, hey, give me one of those fourth rounders or third rounders and see if we can pair this up to move to 14 or 13 or something. Give me a second. Those might be things that has to happen in order for us to move up and secure one of these guys. Some people, I mean, I saw someone in the comment section just now that said, take 18 and 26 and move up to get an elite left tackle. I don't know why we haven't talked about that more. We get enamored about all our picks, but I don't care if we got 2 at 5, if that was to happen, just saying. I couldn't write off the Dolphins literally taking 18 and 26, moving back up to somewhere around 10 or, 11 and getting our tackle. Would we be happy if we did something like that? Y'all let me know in the comment section. But what about you guys? Would you be okay if we did that?
No, I wouldn't be happy with that.
No.
We got too many leaks we got too many leaks in these tires, man. We have to get as many linemen as we can.
See, there's
I'm not 100% content with what we did in the offseason to address the O-line. We need a quarterback, and we need the O-line to be. Honestly, I know it's nice to talk about running backs, but the first round of this draft, it should be addressing the O-line at all costs. That's just my opinion. I'm ready for the O-line to come around, and if you can get 2 first-round offensive linemen and they work out, you should actually address. I know we need a safety too, but I'd rather wait to put everything off and address the O-line in the first round for 100%.
Well, here's the factor that we can't forget, because I know in the comment section a lot of people said no, and most of you all said no as well. Here's the factor we can't forget, though. Moving up to hypothetically number 10 and getting Jedrick Wills or Andrew Thomas, a guy who, of course, we don't know if anyone's going to be a bust or not, but these guys are considered guys that are day one starters who are going to impact your team and be great. And it may not turn out that way, but you have more assurance, right? But getting a guy at 18, first of all, that's less assurance within that guy. And then trying to get another one in the second round, possibly, even less assurance. Do you want the solidified, surefire guy? Or do you want to keep on playing with these hopefuls? That's the thing.
I think that's where your scouting is going to have to be. They're going to have to be on par that day. You would have to have scouted correctly, which that's the gamble, man. Unless you scouted, if you didn't scout correctly, then that's where you're going to come out on the shallow end, or come out with the short end of the stick. So
I think the Dolphins need to come out with 2 tackles, regardless.
Yep.
2 elite tackles.
100%
2
agree with
elite
that.
tackles. Pete,
Yes,
how do you expect us to come out of this with 2 elite tackles unless we use number 5 and 18?
Number 5, you can't go wrong with a tackle. The way I believe, you either have to get Andrew Thomas at 5 or Worlds at 5. We could also do that plan that you guys just finished saying. Trade 26 and 18 and move up to top 12 again. And all we need is 2 first-round picks. We get 2 offensive linemen. We don't really need a quarterback. We could continue to ride the hot hand towards the end of the season when Fitzpatrick was, he was already riding hot. We could run that with him, build the offensive line, build the rest of the team with all the picks we have with a good offensive line. And I believe we could be in good shape with that, with the defensive move we did in the offseason and 2 tackles that are protecting Fitzpatrick, and also let Rosen settle in that quarterback competition and see what we have in Rosen, because he still hasn't had a fair chance. And I'm not giving up on Rosen yet.
You got me thinking, Pete.
We could literally solidify this whole offensive line.
Take the 3 first-round picks. Hold on. So you're saying take the 3 first-round picks and walk away with 2 elite tackles
in the top 10? Yes.
Right side and left side are now secure.
Left guard is good with Flowers. Center is Karras, and Dieter has that and experience at right guard.
Hold on. I see. So you mean to tell me if I put Andrew Thomas right here and another elite tackle, because people will argue with the second one of who you're naming, and Karras at center. What else did you say?
Flowers at left guard and put Dieter at right guard.
We can draft the guard in the second round.
Dieter, he is a real big dude.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man.
Same size as Flowers.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Your scenario passes up on a quarterback altogether, but I have to be 100% honest with you, Pete. I like that idea, and people. It's probably a lot of people that don't, because they're in the mindset of quarterback. But do you know what would happen to this team if those 2 tackle positions were replaced by 2 elite tackles in this draft? And the rest of the guys that we have, this offense would move the ball.
Yes.
And that
the
defense
running game
is
will get a lot better.
This team would instantly be nice, really nice.
The Dolphins had like the worst running offense in the league last year. So just by us having a better offensive line and just establishing some type of run game is going to help our quarterbacks out, whoever it is, Fitzpatrick or Rosen.
So what you're saying is basically run the team that way. And of course, we're going to probably get a running back in the second round to add to the depth with Howard, and then bring a whole bunch of draft picks in and try to turn them into Nick Needhams for the secondary and the safety and stuff position and the nose tackle. And then let me tell you, I love this scenario if our goal is to get better this year and be a Super Bowl contending team in 2021. If that's the ultimate goal, then that is a superior plan for the Miami Dolphins. Fix the O-line, and next year you go get your quarterback if you need it at that point. Which, a lot of people have given up on Rosen, so they'll say, yeah, you do need it. But that would actually be a superior plan. Getting 2 tackles right now, you're going to still be able to afford to get a really good back out of this whole deal. And then the rest of those draft picks, you bring in a whole bunch of guys at the safety and nose tackle and other positions and develop them to be really good players if you can find some gems out of that. And then be a better team now, possibly even contending for a wild card right now. And in 2021, if the quarterbacks you have on your roster as backs up to Fitzpatrick aren't the guys, then in 2021, you take every draft pick you got and throw it at the quarterback position.
And that'll all depend on how it is, because the reason why I feel that way we should go left tackle and right tackle is when you look at the AFC East, there's no other real quarterback that scares me in this division. So we're right there at quarterback with every AFC East team. Allen is inaccurate. Darnold is a turnover machine. And who's the Patriots quarterback? So right now, we have to try to at least be better at offensive line. We don't really need a rush for a quarterback.
Pete, you messing my head up today, man. This is a good one, man. Pete, man, you be texting me some crazy stuff. I don't know. Is this the real Pete?
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a Dolphin fan, but at the end of the day, I do want Rosen or Winston. I do not want to see Tua. I do not want to see Burrows. I don't want to see none of that here, man. I want either Mr. 5,000 passing yards that I know can throw that ball. The turnovers do not scare me at all. Or just let's give Rosen a chance with this upgraded line, a better running game, and I think we're solid. I actually like our team on paper. When you look at it, our Dolphins are going to go places. We all feel that, and we all can sit here and say yes. All of us are scared of the quarterback.
I love it for the simple fact adding 2 elite tackles to this situation that we're in right now. That's a beautiful thing for this team.
And we have 2 good backups.
Because then we have multiple players. Now you have Flowers, Theater, Karras, and Davis. We be able to find the middle of that the chemistry in the middle even better. Flowers at left guard. I know that's gonna happen. Karras at center. Now you got Dieter and Davis fighting for a right tackle, right guard position.
Yep. And both got NFL experience.
I would actually say offensive line fixed. I would actually say offensive line fixed. And we
bumps
got
up the running game.
EM texting me, send me the link.
Hey man, I got something I want to say about this whole quarterback thing, man. That I was thinking twice about it. I wouldn't mind going with 2 offensive linemen in the first round. My only thing is, I still feel that you can get a quality tackle at that 26 pick. That's my only that's where I kind of part ways with what y'all are talking about. I still feel that you can still get a quality tackle with that 26 pick.
Quality or an elite?
Elite. In this division, we need elite offensive line.
In this league.
No, in this division, AFC East, we got the Patriots top defense. The Bills,
that's where I
one
feel
of the top defenses. Jets have one of the top defenses. We need an elite offensive line to move that ball. If we have no running game, the scenario is going to be exactly the same as last year. 3-and-out Kings, and it doesn't matter who's at quarterback. We're not going to get first downs. Our defense is going to get gassed out, and it doesn't matter if you have 10 Dominican Sues on that defensive line. They're going to get gassed out if we have no production on offense moving the ball.
So here's my thing, man. We should be able to get 1 elite tackle with that 18 pick. We should be able to get somebody that we can plug in right away. Whoever we get at the 26th pick needs to be somebody that you have intention of using at right tackle. I'm sorry, at left tackle. I think we should draft Jedrick Wills if we can get him at 18. I don't reason since he doesn't think he'll be there.
Yeah, but if he's not there, then what?
Then you're gonna have to address your left tackle and then try to get a right tackle at the 26. And it needs to be somebody that you can use as a guard and use at right tackle. My only thing is I do want a quarterback, but look, man, here's my thing: is these quarterbacks that come in their first year, a lot of the reason why they don't succeed is because they're feeling themselves too much. I just watched the ESPN documentary with Leinart and Vince Young, and that's one of the things they both admitted to is their first year in the league, they were feeling themselves too much, and it was a trickle down effect for the rest of their NFL career. I would rather have a quarterback that's going to come into this league with some humility. I kind of feel to a certain extent that all the top quarterbacks, the 3 guys that I feel have that possible potential, Joe Burrow, Tua, and I would even say Herbert, all kind of have that characteristic to where I feel that when they do come into the NFL, they could possibly be feeling themselves too much, and that might not work out for them in the NFL. The one guy I don't really see that happening to, as far as his characteristic, is Jordan Love. I think I feel more comfortable drafting him opposed to any of those quarterbacks right now. That's just my honest opinion.
All due
It's
respect,
like,
Esteban, that's ridiculous, bro. That's ridiculous. That's
why-
ridiculous, man.
Okay.
I mean, man, come
you-
on, bro.
you don't-
really,
you don't-
stop it.
bro,
Stop
you don't
it.
think that there's quarterbacks that come into this league that are feeling themselves too much and they just stumble out the blocks? That happens. That happens.
Y'all hold
over
on.
and
Y'all
over
give
in
me a
the
second,
NFL.
man. Y'all give me a second. I want to introduce everybody in the room right now, so we're aware. And I appreciate it, Esteban. What's up, Elder
Can
Bruce
I say
Jones? You
something?
good?
Hey, what's going on?
Hold on one moment. I want to make sure I introduce everybody. So we got Elder Bruce Jones on. We have Sharif on as well, and we have Rashard Brown and EM Dolphin fan always wrong on right now. With Esteban and myself. So
what's up, gentlemen? How y'all doing, man?
We're doing great. We're gonna try to manage this because every time we got a lot of people on, it gets rough. So I'm gonna be muting and unmuting people, but I'm gonna be asking, directing questions. Don't worry, EM. I'm gonna get
Good evening,
to you
everyone.
in just a moment.
Good evening.
I'm gonna get to you in just a moment. Good evening, Elder Bruce Jones. Talk to us, man. What you think about what we've been talking about?
TD, I think a lot of Dolphin fans just committed suicide.
Well, that's bad on them, right?
Because the reason why I say that, everybody wants a quarterback at number 5 pick.
Yeah, they want it, but at the end of the day, here's my question. Take our lineup right now, and I showed it on the screen, right? If you take our lineup right now, how good is this team with two elite? Just give me two of the best tackles in the draft coming in. How good is this team?
This team would be, I would say, an A minus.
What about the rest of you all? B minus.
I'm gonna have to go with the B, even with two tackles, man, just because they're unproven until they.
That's
prove
fine
it.
though. Do you see the upgrade there? With what our defense could be in this offense being at a B? Do you see what that turns into?
Yeah.
I would actually say about an A minus because again, I think that personally we got to see the guards play great
I'll
football,
have to say,
pulling the run game.
I'll have
things
to
like
say
that.
there's an option at
I would
playoff.
say,
This is it would if we got two elite left tackles added to this offense. It'll be hard for anyone to argue whether or not we can be a playoff team this year.
if you fix
really hard.
the O-line this year, which a lot of Dolphin fans not gonna like picking a high tackle that high, especially if they're starting for a quarterback.
Yeah, but that's the preference. That's a preference.
Let's go
of
into
Bruce Jones. It's a preference of they want a quarterback. And I'm not saying that not getting the quarterback is the best deal. I mean, even if getting the quarterback is the best deal, what if they came out and said getting two elite left tackles is the best deal? People would still be mad because they want the quarterback. So I get that. Either way it goes, you're going to have people that don't like the move. But all I'm saying is if we know that we're riding Fitzpatrick this year, adding two tackles that are top of their game in this draft, this team is definitely a playoff team, if you ask me. Some may disagree. And then I would throw everything I got at a quarterback in 2021. Everything. I don't care if we overpaid by 10 times.
What? TD, I don't understand that. Why would you mortgage? Okay, you're within striking distance of getting a blue chip quarterback at 5, right? Whether you trade up or not, you're in striking distance of getting one of the top 4 quarterbacks in this draft. Okay. And according to all reports, you've got favorable grades on the top 4. Okay. I just don't get the logic of. Okay, first off, we look at the additions on the offensive line that we addressed in free agency, left guard and center, which were the two, in my opinion, the two most glaring needs. Okay, you've addressed those two positions. You still have Jesse Davis, who performed. I keep telling y'all are sleeping on this team, how well they played the second half of the season. You still have Jesse Davis at right tackle. Okay, you have the option of continue the investment in Michael Dieter. You can move him to center, or you can move move him to right guard, or you can move Karras to right guard, or slide Dieter at center. You have options there. The only glaring need now, I'm not saying Jesse Davis is a top 5 right tackle in NFL right now, but he's serviceable. And that's really all you need. You just really need to solidify one part of your offensive line. Okay? So if you get a blue chip tackle, either, in my opinion, based on the athletic profile that the players that they are acquiring, they are implementing a power scheme. Okay? And if you want to cross-reference the scheme and the athletic profile, the two players, in my opinion, that Miami is within striking distance of getting in this draft, that left tackle, is Mekhi Becton or Andrew Thomas. Okay, either by trade up or Thomas could possibly be there at 18. So if you make that selection, your offensive line, and I'm not saying don't address it later on in the draft. I'm not saying that at all.
Can I mention?
But that's really the only glaring need. That's really the only glaring need that you have.
But
Here's the issue.
I think that's unfair, though, to say that that's the only glaring need, because what you're basically saying is we got that one glaring need in all of these hopeful projects.
Here's the issue.
No, hopeful projects.
Here's the issue.
Here's
the issue in a nutshell.
Really, Dieter is the only question mark. Jesse Davis, I'm telling you, he played well at the end of the season last year. And he graded out as an average guard, as an average right tackle last year for the duration of the season. Now, if you're now, you don't think he can improve upon that?
Can you hear me, TD?
Yeah, you're good. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So, EM, I'm not at any point gonna be the what do you call it? What do you call it? It's my mama.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, hold on. Hey, let me take this call. I'll get back to y'all in a second.
Man. Take care of
my mama calling.
But so you want to now again, it all depends on how the draft, on how the board falls. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying Jesse. We couldn't use an upgrade from Jesse Davis. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying,
can I just say something?
Left tackle is when you're addressing.
Can you?
There's a delay on.
Can you guys hear me?
Sharif, go out and come back in. You're paused,
you guys
and
hear
there's
me?
a delay on your audio. He doesn't hear us. So.
All right.
I just don't understand why would you're within striking distance at 5 to get whatever blue chip quarterback. Do you realize the price tag, what it will be next year for them to have to target either Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields or one of them top if you're
every draft
to be successful.
Every draft,
bro, that's not good business, TD. That's not good business.
So TD.
Mm-hmm.
Why this is what I'll probably do. I'll probably go ahead and get the quarterback with the 5th pick, right?
Okay.
What is Tua or Herbert, whoever's available.
All right.
Then what about the next picks for the next 2 picks available for the tackles?
Yeah, but again, do we want to stretch out trying to get an elite tackle at 26?
Well, 18.
Well, yeah, I mean 18 is a prime spot, but again, what's left at 18?
Andrew Thomas.
Thomas may not slide.
Thomas is not gonna make it 18, bro.
I don't think this man is gonna make it past 15.
No.
Listen. This is what I said. Listen. Ideally, I don't want to trade up at any point in this draft, but ideally, if you're at 18, and again, it just depends on how the board falls. If one of those blue chip tackles that you have graded are within striking distance, I would entertain a trade up from 18. And I'm sure Miami is entertaining that as well. I'm sure they are more than willing to, if one of those tackles slides just a bit, they are willing to package that 18, maybe not 18 and 26. It won't require 18 and 26 to jump back up in the top 10. It'll probably require. It might require 18, a second, maybe that first, second, and a third. But I don't think it'll take the 18 and 26 to jump back up in the top 10.
But
here's the thing. And being someone that's been following this team since '79. We have been, without a shadow of a doubt, quarterback thirsty forever since Marino left, right? So the sexy pick, it's like going to a car lot, right? It's like going to a car lot, and you got 3 kids, right? You got 3 kids and a dog that you got to get around town every day, all this other stuff. The minivan ain't sexy, but the minivan is functional. It's going to serve its purpose. You ain't going to never have to worry about it. You know why you're getting it, and you know what it's for. That's a left tackle. That's a right tackle. Those are the guys that are put into the league for a specific position to do a job, which is protect the quarterbacks. Now, we don't have any of that. I like Jesse Davis. I think Jeffrey Davis is serviceable. I have no issues with you there, EM. He did have a back end, was outstanding. But if we're looking to build a house, you build a house from the foundation up. And the problem is that we want to go out and grab the 80-inch, which is a flashy quarterback, to put into the room, but we ain't got the roof on yet.
But look, listen.
Here's the problem. Hold on. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
I agree that we need a quarterback. I just don't know without a shadow of a doubt if it's still something. I mean, there's still other holes, right? I mean, if you look at the success of the teams that have done it consistently, you know, Andy Reid moved up to go get Mahomes, but he also put a lot of effort into building that O-line and had him sitting before they unleashed Mahomes on the world. So he had his protection. We need to do the same. So if we do get a quarterback, but I don't necessarily know next year. And looking at the kids that are coming out next year, we're going to have the same amount of talent at the offensive line. The only guy that I can think of right now that's coming out next year that's going to be a bona fide first round top 10 pick is Creed Humphrey, and he stayed in school. If he had come out this year, he would have definitely been top 10 as well.
You forget about the left tackle from Oregon.
Who?
The left tackle from Oregon will be the premier tackle next year coming out.
Yeah, but next year. Yeah, okay. So, but then you got to think about this too, right? So everybody falls into a spot, right? Then, if you can get the guys now, right, and get them acclimated to the system, why we wait till next year to go get the same to fill a void that we got the access to do this year? We ain't hungry for a quarterback. We got Fitzpatrick for another year anyway. The guy, the Tua and Burrow, both those guys are sexy picks. And I mean, listen, if we're going to go sexy, you might as well go get them. But it's going to cost a lot to get Burrow. If Tua is still there at 5, then okay, take him. Because that satisfies the fan base. But he's still sitting. And then we still got a glaring hole on the offensive line because me personally, I believe they move indeed to the center. Karras is going to play right guard. And we still need 2 tackles because Jesse Davis, although he is serviceable, he is not the guy, right? Especially if they take Tua, we gonna need a premium right tackle, not a left tackle.
Well, I think what people are not realizing, what's glossing over a lot of the fan base's heads when they're talking about you have to get a blue chip type of left tackle in the first round. New England has built a dynasty of building O-lines based on lesser tier talent in terms of draft status. They have built a dynasty of 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th round picks on the O-line. So people are not that same philosophy, whatever it is. Flores has brought that and implemented that in South Florida. So
he has.
I was agreeing.
I said he has. I wasn't arguing or questioning.
Gentlemen, you can draft.
I'm not dispelling any of that.
He started the process last year.
But Tom Brady, throughout his tenure there, Tom Brady always had a premium player at that left tackle spot. Now, all those other positions from left guard to right guard, they were matching play, but he always had. And if you look at the all pros and the guys that are going to go down in history for being all-time Patriots, their left tackle spot has always, Tom Brady's career, always had a premium guy at that spot.
I agree, Brian. What I'm saying is they found him at different points in the draft. They didn't necessarily find him in the first round.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. Well, what I'm saying, though, is that if you have an opportunity, so here we are again, right? Tunsil fell in our lap because of the darn gas mask, right?
He really did Tunsil.
He really wasn't supposed to be to us. Tunsil should have never made it to us.
I agree.
Right.
But
we got lucky, just like we got lucky with Minka, right? So that's why I didn't have no real heartburn about them guys being sent away because, in theory, if the draft had gone the way it was supposed to, we would have never had them in the first place. My thing is now, here we are with an opportunity right? A prime opportunity to grab what could be the very next level of talent at that position to take us like another. You know, we got an opportunity right now to get us another Jake Long. Remember how beautiful Jake Long was for us?
Yeah, I agree, ball game. But what I'm saying, all I'm saying is this, bro. Just like you found Laramie Tunsil, okay, in the first round, he was projected to go in the top 5 that year.
We didn't find him. He fell to us.
Listen,
bro.
Right. Okay, he fell to us. Whatever. We selected him at 13. But my point is, just like you found a Laramie Tunsil, you can find a Trent Brown, which was the 6th. San Francisco 49ers selected him in the 6th round, cut him, okay, because of he got hurt. New England picks him up. He automatically 3 years in New England's program. He's the first team All-Pro, signing the richest contract at that time last year for a left tackle.
Yeah, you're bringing
Look how long it took him to get that old, bro.
Those are
you're going to sign a guy in the 6th round and wait 4 years?
It's not that rare.
Gentlemen.
It's really not that rare as you think.
Hold on.
We don't want to wait. Why would we go out and pick a guy that's subpar and wait 4 years for him to blossom when you can get a guy that can plug and play right now?
Hold on, guys. I want to bring EM. Just give me a second, bro. I want to bring someone else in. What's up, Dwayne?
Hey, how you doing, gentlemen? Everything going all right with y'all? Y'all staying safe?
Going
all
great,
right.
man. What's your thoughts on this?
All right. The fact that you can get either, and I'm sure you can, either Andrew Thomas or Josh Jones at 18, you then back that up with your 39th or 56th pick by picking Louis Niang, you should be set at tackle. You don't have to waste, and that's maybe a bad word to use the word waste, but you don't have to utilize the 18 and 26 on tackles when you have a need for a safety, and that safety is sitting there, either McKinney or Delpit. You get that secondary quarterback with that 26 pick. You pick that nose tackle, and then you balance it off with either John Simpson, Niang, and you got your offensive line set for the next 5 years.
Hold on. So let me dive into that, Dwayne, because I want to make sure I break down what was just said here. So who's at number 5 in this scenario?
Number 5 at this scenario, and I'm still debating, but it's either Tua or Isaiah Simmons. And if you pick Isaiah Simmons, you may not have the need to draft McKinney or Delpit just for the fact that Simmons can play both safety, strong safety, and in some sub packages, the linebacker position.
And nickel corner.
If I'm selecting Isaiah Simmons at 5, I'm playing him at free safety.
Yeah,
I'm playing him at free safety.
Yeah,
I'm not going to play him I'm not going to play him primarily as a linebacker.
So in a scenario that we get him at 5, Dwayne Simmons, then where do we get our quarterback?
You get your quarterback
next year.
You either have to get him next year, or at worst, you get him with the 70th pick, and you 70th? Either, you might be reaching, but you may have to go if you want a quarterback. Now, since you picked Simmons at 5, you're actually saying to the fan base and to the team, we don't need a quarterback this year because you have Rosen and you have Rudder and you have Fitzpatrick. So that's not a need then. But if you're gonna pick a quarterback, you can pick him. You can pick a Anthony Gordon, or you can pick a Jalen Hurts in the 3rd round, or Anthony Gordon in the 4th round. But that being said, you want to have the offensive tackle with that 18th pick, and you have depending on how the quarterbacks are chosen, 2 of those offensive tackles may be available at 18 because people are going to be going to quarterback frenzy and pushing quarterbacks that aren't in the top 15 up into the top 10. So those offensive tackles are going to fall to you at 18.
So let's get this straight now. So you're under the belief that Andrew Thomas can make it to 18. Well, 2 offensive tackles to the better ones can make it to 18.
One of those five tackles is going to be available at 18. Either Josh Jones,
I agree.
Josh Jones,
might be available at 26.
Jedrick Wills.
I think
one of those 5 are going to be available. And then if you need to double down and get another tackle, if you don't feel confident about Jesse Davis, which I don't, I think his best role would be as a utility lineman. Then you go get Louis Niang or Isaiah Wilson in the second or third round.
I think. Listen. One of them. I agree with him what he said. One of those tackles, maybe even 2, might be available at 18. I think it's either going to be. I think it's a strong possibility Andrew Thomas might be sitting there at 18. So again, bro, listen. It just depends on how the board falls in terms of your picks at 26 or what you do at 26. If there's a lot of value sitting there on the offensive line that slides to 26, I'm all for it. But all I'm saying is the biggest glaring need, the most pressing need on our offensive line is at that left tackle spot, because you can ride. And I'm not saying don't address it later in the rounds, or later in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 6th round. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is the most pressing need is that left side. And then if you get a left tackle, Andrew Thomas, Mekhi, I prefer Mekhi Becton. But if you can solidify select one of those players and solidify that left side, your left side is pretty much solid. And you can ride with Karras at guard or center, or Dieter at center or guard, and Jesse Davis serviceable at right tackle. And you can always do things from a scheme standpoint to overcompensate for whatever areas you're deficient in on the offensive line. You just can't have 5 deficient offensive linemen. You got to have something to build upon.
So here's why something's not adding up to me in all of this, because, and I'm gonna get back to you, Dwayne. Something's not adding up to me in all of this, because we throw out all these scenarios. So we're not gonna even touch the running back position, because all these scenarios, we're not touching the running back position in the first 2 rounds.
I got a scenario where we get them in the second round.
Do you really think you have to? You don't. I guarantee you.
Well, I mean, it seems like the team is real interested in a lot of these guys and potentially looking to take one.
J.K. Dobbins will be there in the second round, bro. He ain't going in the first round. It's probably maybe one, and it might be Jonathan Taylor, because he seems to be not my favorite, but I mean, he seems to be the biggest name out there floating around now that's potentially going to go in the first round. So DeAndre Swift, which is my favorite, I think he'll be available in the second round. J.K. Dobbins will as well. So, if you believe the reports, Miami is, they have a strong level of interest in J.K. Dobbins. So they'll be there in the second round with that second round pick. I think so. I just don't think the safeties. I don't think Wingfield, Ashton Davis will be there. I think either one of them, or maybe even both of them, will get picked in the first round, I think. So 26 needs to be safety, I think.
What Eric Rowe, he plays strong safety or free safety?
Strong safety.
Okay.
He's a rover, though. He's a rover.
Right.
I mean, by the depth chart, it says strong safety, but his job really is rover.
The problem we have now in the back end of that secondary is we got guys listed at a position where they partially play.
Right.
Well,
So
Eric,
now,
Eric
Same thing
Rowe
with the
played
nickel
majority.
right now. We don't know who. Go ahead.
Eric Rowe played the majority of the snaps of any player at strong safety last year, so he's a strong safety.
Well, I mean, it's
So then-
all we also had. So, it's.
But he played well. He played well.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not knocking Eric Rowe. I don't want you to get the wrong idea. I'm not knocking him at all. I'm just saying, do we view him? Yeah, do we view him as the future at the position?
How? Isaiah Simmons, how?
I'll leave him there for now.
McKinney, how? Delpit, how? That's how.
Yeah, how you gonna say how?
I'm not knocking Rowe, but Rowe is a converted corner who couldn't play man coverage on the boundary, and he struggled outside in New England for years. He was a backup, so we brought him in because he was one of Flores' boys. He had an opportunity to play a role for us, and his job was to slow down tight ends. That's really all he got.
Which is the philosophy of the New England, which is a major philosophy. Listen. But again, if he's not a weakness, why do you? I'm not saying Isaiah Simmons wouldn't be an upgrade, but do you really need to make a top 5 investment on a position that is not a weakness? Do you really need to do that?
That is a weakness.
Yes, because guess what? He was put in there only as a replacement for Minka, and it worked out. But he was not. He was not.
Jones had been healthy. He probably would never played that spot.
Right. He was not.
No.
Choice. He was not the choice, and that's why you go out. You get a strong safety, i.e., Xavier McKinney or Grant Delpit or even Jeffrey Chin, and you put one of them. And if you drafting Jeffrey Chin, you're going to try to get him in the 3rd round. He might not be in the 3rd round.
So
but
what do you do at free safety?
Isaiah Simmons.
That's where you move the cornerback,
oh my God,
the ex-cornerback to free safety. Because you need somebody as a strong safety to be able to handle those tight ends and handle those running backs.
And
that's somebody that has had more experience than Eric Rowe at that position.
We're not saying he didn't do it well. We're just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, they looking. There's a reason why they're looking to go young at a lot of positions too. I mean, the athleticism alone, when you go out and look at it in terms of what I mean, they reduced the role down for the dude to just really doing one thing. If you go back and look at the film footage, he didn't cover anybody but tight ends, bro. That's it. He had no running back assignment.
Listen, that's the responsibility of a strong safety. What are you talking about? That's the responsibility of a strong safety. What are you talking about?
Let's talk. Really? So you telling me that strong safety's only job is to cover tight ends?
Their primary responsibility are tight ends and running backs.
Their primary responsibility is in-box run support. They have to have the ability. They have to have the ability to be able to somewhat cover.
You said cover. I was thinking from a coverage standpoint, but that's obvious. That's obvious, bro. Come on, man.
So why can't we go get a guy? Why can't we go get a guy that's naturally suited for that then?
All right,
that's my point. To get somebody who's suited and has done it for a long period of time.
I'm just asking a question.
Hold on, guys, because I'll go ahead, Ian.
I'm gonna answer your question, Boggan. You have a player that's already doing it at the highest level. Already doing it.
Who?
He's saying Rowe did it at the highest level.
Stop, Ian. Stop.
He ain't playing to run that good.
No, hang on. Let me clarify. What I'm saying is he's doing it in the NFL. That's what I mean at the highest level. I'm not saying he's the best strong safety in the league. I'm saying he's already at the NFL level performing at a high level. That's all I'm saying. So why would you go? This ain't Madden Ultimate Team. Why would you go in the draft and take the risk of a player as athletically gifted as Isaiah Simmons is? He could turn out to be another Lamar Erickson, another Barney Golson, another supremely athletically gifted player.
Turn out to be another Sean Taylor.
Hey, I want to elaborate.
And you got to do it because You got to do it because Eric Rowe turns 28 in October.
Now, from that standpoint, from that standpoint, okay, I don't think Rowe is a long-term solution for primarily because of his age. But I'm just saying
it's not a replacement now because they have an out on his contract in 2021. That 3-year deal that he signed, his out is in 2021, and all he is $1 million.
Will you address that? Will you address that next year without mortgaging anything this year? You address that next year. Let the board.
You're the one who keeps referencing. You just referenced to the New England way. That ain't the New England way. You're going to have that guy on the bench for 1 year behind the guy that's already there. That's that way. That's the Flores way. That's the way that works. You don't address it next year. You address it now if you're willing to come up off of it next year.
Listen, I'm not saying don't address listen. I'm not saying don't address the safety position, but the biggest need is that single high roll. That's the biggest need.
All right,
so you address that this year.
I want to transition to another conversation, but I do want to say this. This is what I've been wanting to say all this time while y'all was talking about this Simmons and Eric Rowe situation. I see what EM is saying because he's a player who excelled at a position at the safety position better than he did any position in his NFL career. He actually, what you would call it, is having a emergence, having a cert, just like Ryan Fitzpatrick, we would say, is having that come out party. But here's the issue. When we ask him to just guard tight ends and, hey, if it works, then that's what we need to have him do. That's not a Flores type defense, though. That was an adjusted defense to make it work at the time. Flores wants his safety to be a prototypical guy like Isaiah Simmons so that he can look like he can box, safety, but he actually ain't about to play the safety. He can disguise looks in a player like Isaiah Simmons by putting him in that position. But this play that we're about to run ain't got nothing to do with him playing that position. That brings the versatility. Being in that box, it's night and day with Eric Rowe and Isaiah Simmons in that box.
Did you not see again? This is why I get so frustrated when y'all get up on this panel and y'all make the. This is what I get so frustrated about. Did you? This is why I keep telling y'all, go back and watch film. Did you not see Eric Rowe deploy the same way what you're talking about last year?
So you're basically telling me that there will be there would be no upgrade putting Isaiah Simmons in place of Eric Rowe.
Listen, from an athletic standpoint, absolutely. Because the size is the opposing size.
The kid's 6'4", man. 35, bro.
Listen, but what I am saying to you, TD, is this, bro. You just sat up here and you just said all Eric Rowe did basically was cover tight ends and running backs. He didn't do it. Flores didn't deploy it the same way. The scenario you just said, that's what you just said. So I'm telling you, you are incorrect on the statement you just made.
Okay, yes. Incorrect. I am incorrect. He did not only get deployed for just playing tight ends. We just saw him thrive very well doing that. But he did get deployed in other areas. But I am telling you, we could be so much more effective with a player like Isaiah Simmons in those other areas. That's all I'm saying.
Based off Simmons' athletic profile, we don't know because we're making a projection at this point because he hadn't played it down in the NFL yet. But based off his athletic profile, absolutely, you would think that dude is. I mean, he's a freak of nature. He's a freak. I'm not saying, but what I'm saying is, if Eric Rowe is not a problem, okay? If Eric Rowe is not a problem, a glaring problem, why would you go and make a top 5 investment when you have the bigger need at quarterback, in my opinion, okay, or offensive line?
So what if they selected Isaiah Thomas to play the free safety role then?
Or move Eric Rowe over to free safety and let Isaiah Simmons play strong safety.
Or what if Tua and Burrow are already chosen, and then you got a choice between having an offensive tackle or a player that is generational in Isaiah Simmons
and fits the defense perfect.
Yeah,
Now, let me ask you that. Do we
we went
Perfect.
hella heavy on defense. I think they looking to finish this defense off first.
Well, exactly.
In that scenario that we can't get Tua or Burrow, I would definitely entertain. I said Simmons. I said at 5.
I said that a long time ago. I feel like
hold on. So this argument is basically the simple fact that we don't need Simmons right now. But if Tua's gone, then you would entertain it.
Well, I'm not going to say we don't need Simmons, bro. But this is the reason why I'm not saying Simmons is worthy. We need to make a top 5 investment on him because you got Antoine Winfield, because you got Ashton Davis. That is the bigger issue, TD.
Those guys are 5'9". Those guys are size as quarterback.
They don't do what we want our safeties to do. What we want our safeties to do, they don't do.
So you're gonna go 5'9". You're gonna go 5'9" for the free safety, but we can go 6'4", 235.
Hang on, ball game. Who just made that comment and said that for what we ask our safeties to do, Winfield doesn't do that? Who said that?
I said that.
Speak up. Who said that?
Me. I said that.
Okay, well, all due respect. Listen. Again, this is what frustrates me when we get on this panel. All due respect, homie, you need to go back and look at his tape. Because that dude is as versatile as it gets, bro.
I know. He's a dog. He's a dog, but he's a pure safety, is what I'm saying. He's a killer at safety, but we need safeties that's going to drop down into the box, play the run, play the tight end, sometimes slide out to nickel corner.
And he does that. I
see the ball hawk in him. I see all that, but he's not getting in there with Derrick Henry. He's not getting in there with what's the boy with Melvin Ingram.
Bro, listen.
Simmons is.
Listen. Now listen, I'm not sitting up here comparing. Obviously, Simmons is a more imposing athlete than what Antoine Winfield is. But what I am saying is this. Winfield is as versatile as Isaiah Simmons. Everything that you see on
not as versatile. He's versatile.
Winfield gives you that, and I think he's more.
Yeah, but that physical profile is undeniable, bro.
Winfield is a dog.
Hey, nobody got that. I'm not saying that, bro. I'm not saying that at all.
I'd rather have that. I want my sports car to be a sports car, look like a sports car, perform like a sports car. You know what I'm saying? And Isaiah Simmons checked all 3 of them boxes. So it ain't even. I mean, your guy. Hey, I love your guy. I watched the film on him. Yeah, for 5'9", that dude does some amazing stuff. I can't knock that. I think that's the gene pool that he came from too. But at the same time, when you look at Simmons and he spread them arms out like an albatross, and all 6'4", 233 pounds of him is out there, dog.
Listen,
don't compare to that 5'9", 188-pound frame, bro.
No. Well, actually, he's 5'10", and he's 208 pounds.
Okay.
Anyway, listen. But Isaiah Simmons, hey, listen, I'm not knocking. That dude is a generational athlete, not player.
You don't want that.
You got to see him play.
And you don't want that.
Ain't nobody in the league like that.
Hey, listen.
That's a different type of concept.
I want to end this conversation about that because at the end of the day, EM don't want it. No. We're gone. Then he'll think about it.
You don't want that.
But
you just said everything that answers that completes the whole conversation, and we still talking about. You said generational.
You got a guaranteed starter.
That dude coming in and playing day one.
Listen.
You got somebody who will beat out Minka Fitzpatrick for Pro Bowl honors every year.
Easy.
That's gonna be Winfield. I'm telling y'all.
All right.
Winfield.
Moving along. I want to handle this comment on the screen. Quint donated. Appreciate you, Quint. He said, "Question: do you think with this coaching staff, do you think Tannehill would have been better? If that's the case, draft Herbert. What do y'all think about that? Would Tannehill have been better with this coaching staff, though?"
No.
I don't know. I can't say offensively though because we just shifted up again the offense. So we don't know what the offense is going to look like. Shan Gailey had some level of success in the NFL, but at the same time, he's coming off the shelf now. So the offense is going to take a couple steps back to go forward. So I don't necessarily know, but they're putting money into the offensive line, which is something that we didn't do. We went out doing Tannehill deal. You know, we had one decent offensive line for him in his entire tenure that I recall, and then he wound up getting hurt still. So it was like,
well,
so we don't know.
I will say this about Herbert. We talked about this yesterday, TD. Hey, he is my fallback option if Tua is not available. That kid, I'm telling you, that dude. You talk about generational athletes. He's a generational type athlete at that position. That dude is as imposing as we've ever seen at the quarterback position. I'm talking about historically. When you talk about arm strength, arm talent, 6'6", 245 pounds, 4'6", 5 40 pounds strong. I think he put up like 17 reps on the bench. Hey, that dude is as imposing. He is a generational athlete at that position.
He brought Osweiler just faster because Osweiler did 19 reps. And Osweiler
exactly the same thing.
Osweiler to stand flat foot. Osweiler to stand flat foot and throw the ball 76 yards.
No, Osweiler, no, bro. Well,
Osweiler was a dog.
He's faster. He's more athletic than Osweiler.
You know, he's the model of what a QB should look like.
We don't know.
But he's going to also be the model of a quarterback that you shouldn't pick that high in the draft.
Coach. Oh, he don't tell you, man.
He needs the right coach.
Okay.
That's all that is.
So y'all don't think we can coach him up? That's what I'm talking about.
I can't hear you, Ian.
I don't think we got the coaches,
Can you hear me now?
the quarterback coaches. Personally.
Yeah, we can.
That's what I'm saying. Everything, all the offensive success that we saw at the end of the year, all that stuff gonna take a little bit of a step back because now the guys got to go through all this relearning the Shane Gailey's terminology, his blocking schemes, all that stuff. So
some of them learning it now in their own time, however they can.
They get a sneak preview. Yeah, they get sneak previews of the. And see, that's the thing too, though, TD. Like right out the gate, though, I'm glad you said that because that's something that Fitzpatrick had.
Yeah, Josh
almost 6.5, 7 weeks before Rosen ever even showed up.
Mm-hmm. Come on,
I'm not making an excuse, bro. It's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. It's a declaration.
That is a valid point. That is a valid point.
You know why that's fair?
It's a declaration of the truth. I'm not making an excuse for the dude. Listen, if he don't get the job, I don't care. I'm done with that.
Hear me out on this. EM needs to understand this. Oh, I think I made a mistake and put him backstage, but there he is. My bad. EM, you got to look at it like this. When did Fitzpatrick come on? Because he looked like pure trash at the beginning, and granted, a lot of it had to do with the O-line. But when did he come on?
You know why, TD? You know what?
Week 11.
TD, hang on. You know what I attribute that to? You remember how out of shape, how bad he looked in OTAs when the players reported how bad out of shape he was? You remember that? Mm-hmm. If you recall. I think why Fitzpatrick started Okay. But I attribute that. I think the reason why he didn't get up to speed.
Is it just me? But I cannot hear him.
Hang on. Can y'all hear me all right?
Yeah. Go out and hear me, ball game.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, but I attribute the reason why Ryan Fitzpatrick got off to such a sluggish start is because that dude was out of shape, bro.
11 weeks to turn up his game.
Listen,
12 if you count the bye. 3 months. That's how out of shape he was. He had a whole training camp and everything, and 2 months of the season to get in shape, and he didn't get in shape until 11 weeks later.
And then he still had noodle arm at the end of the season.
Hey! What game was that? Was that Washington game? What game was that?
Washington.
What week was that? The Washington game.
Week
6.
Week 7.
Oh, it was week 6 because we had a week 5 bye. We had a week 5 bye, so we came up. We played Washington week 6.
Week 6. They inserted him into the starting lineup, and he didn't look back. So he only missed 5 games.
He didn't start.
5 games.
He didn't start.
Rosen started.
Okay.
No, he played the second half, I believe.
And it didn't start.
They were playing Washington, bro.
He maintained the start.
I was at that game. And I'm telling you, Washington's whole defensive game plan changed when they had 2 quarterbacks. It was complete night and day. My wife and I sit. My wife was sitting right next to me, and she was like, "They are blitzing. They are blitzing the hell out of Josh."
They sent 7 every play.
They sent 7 every play, and then when Fitzpatrick got in there,
they pressed and sent 7.
You know why? You know why that is?
Cause he a young quarterback.
They didn't have no O-line. They was trying to rattle him.
Exactly. He's more equipped to handle pressure. Rosen is not.
Well, we know that.
He's young.
But
Fitzpatrick, he ran around. I don't know what games you watched, but I was sitting there. I was on the 45-yard line, bro.
I'll tell you what games I did watch. I
That
watched the next game after that where he started, and the next one after that when he started, and the next one after that when he started. And it didn't look pretty. I mean, it didn't look terrible, but it didn't look pretty. We didn't come on until like week 10 or 11.
It was week 11.
No, well.
When you started,
I attribute to, listen. Well, quarterbacks play bad in stretches of the season, bro. That's just how it is.
My question is, why Fitzpatrick get a pass, but nobody gives Josh Rosen the pass?
Because
you call it a pass.
He didn't Josh didn't drop. Hey, Josh didn't drop the touchdown in Dallas. Kenyon Drake didn't fumble the. I mean, Kenyon Drake fumbled the touchdown ball.
He didn't dunk.
He didn't broadcast so much for Rosen to fail. You don't want to give that ticket back.
Damn, man, it's just crazy to me how we make excuses for everybody else, but Josh can't get none. He can't get one. He can't get no pass.
But listen, don't get mad. They can't talk to Flores. Flores the one that put him on.
No, I'm asking you. You're making excuses for Fitzpatrick's play. You're making excuses for Fitzpatrick's play right now. You couldn't say the same for Josh.
You said he wasn't in shape.
You said he wasn't in shape?
You said everybody on the bench.
Hold on. You telling us?
Y'all see it though, right? Am I crazy? I'm on it.
Have surgery. Get
Oh, you telling us address that with Brian Flores, but you're the one continuing to give us the reasons why. And you're standing behind those reasons. So when we argue your reason, you tell us to go address it with Brian Flores.
Yep. Y'all are making excuses for this flawed player. Y'all are doing that. It's because I don't know why y'all are so tired of this kid.
Bro, EM, to be honest with you, I see where Josh Rosen's deficiencies are, and there are several areas that he needs to improve. But I also see a totally different narrative had some of the players around him played better. I definitely do see especially in that. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all, and I'm not knocking out. Listen, personally, Josh Rosen got a long way to climb to actually make his way for the Miami Dolphins to be our quarterback. But at the end of the day, I can't sit there and be unfair, and that's what we all love to do. We didn't like the kid before he even got the start. When he got the start, look just as bad as Fitzpatrick in those games, but we're to point out a difference, and that's not to say he ain't hot garbage. Even if he was hot garbage, and I believed it right now, we could at least still be fair and say Fitzpatrick's first 3 games and Rosen's first 3 games were identical. They both sucked, but a lot of times I saw players.
But you know something,
you don't get that though.
I don't know what it's.
Oh, but listen, TD, listen. I will give you the first 3 games. I think the team as a whole, because there was so much influx in terms of players. Okay, I think they were trying to figure out. Things from a schematic standpoint. And I think in the first 3-4 games of the season. I truly believe that, because I think the initial strategy was to lose. Listen. I think the initial strategy. They'll never say it publicly. Was to lose a certain amount of games to be within striking distance to select a blue chip quarterback in this year's draft. Now, once the year went on, once they started to figure some things out schematically, players got better. They got settled into their positions. They stopped rotating linemen in and out every single week. Okay, Fitzpatrick got in shape, and I just think they just hit up. They hit their stride. And they won
5 games. That's what I think. But Rosen, this is what I'm saying with Rosen though. He gets drafted by Arizona. He performs at a historically low level. Okay. Immediately, everybody was making excuses for him. It was the O-line. We sent a second-round pick, select him. Okay. Now that same O-line that Kyler Murray had, that Josh Rosen had last year, with the exception of one player, look at the production they got from Kyler Murray compared to Josh Rosen. Okay. Now we're sitting in South Florida right now.
So
Josh Rosen had the same opportunity as a 37-year-old journeyman. The same opportunity. When he was given the opportunity, he performed again at a historically low level. Insert the journeyman and the team takes off.
Man.
I don't understand. What more proof do you need? He's giving you nothing to substantiate a further investment in terms of him being the franchise quarterback of this team, bro. He's giving you nothing.
I saw Rosen dropping some dimes against the Cowboys. I saw Rosen dropping dimes against the Chargers. So there's potential there. You can't say there's not potential there. He just needs to play smarter.
We took who was it? Fitzpatrick out the game versus the Patriots, and we put Josh Rosen in. Preston Williams dropped a touchdown. Deep ball. Jakeem Grant dropped the touchdown.
Nobody talks about that though. Nobody
dropped the touchdown
too. Money. Nobody
talks about that. Nobody talks about the drop touchdowns.
Hit them in the hands.
All the balls that they batted up in the air and that were intercepted because they didn't
They blame him for the interceptions that's bouncing off of the receiver's hands. In the Washington game, he got rattled. He threw 2 horrible picks.
Yes.
2 horrible picks.
Yes, he did.
I remember being at the game on live stream with my phone in my hand talking about it. I remember going crazy on the left side of the field. Josh Rosen throws up a deep bomb to Preston Williams, pylon, end zone, and I thought he caught it. I was like, whoa, I went crazy, and everybody around me looking at me crazy, and I look back at the field like, how could he have dropped that? That was one of the most prettiest balls I've ever seen thrown. And that's what I actually got used to watching Josh Rosen. See, what people fail to realize is the game is typically won on big plays. There can be rough play between, but if you make those type of plays, it makes all the difference in the world. That puts points on the board. It's big chunks that put you in field goal range. And those things were literally stripped from this kid.
That's one play.
That's your problem. You keep saying one
play.
Every game he played, there were a few of them like that.
Stop lying.
I'm out, TD.
Stop lying, bro.
All right, bro.
Stop lying to the fan base. Stop it.
Man, EM, I gotta use.
You need to stop, bro.
What's up, Dwayne?
Hey, TD. What do you think about this? Either Neville Gallimore or Raekwon Davis or Jordan Elliott for a nose tackle with the 56 or 70th pick.
Again, I hate to answer that question by asking you a question. Are they going to be do you feel like any one of those guys, not possibly, are any of those guys, do you feel inside are day one starters and ready to anchor that middle right now?
I think that Raekwon can be that guy. The only reason why I don't think Neville Gallimore is because he's only going to play first and second down.
Well, Raekwon and Gallimore, I know who you're
all 3 downs.
Raekwon and Gallimore, I know who you're talking about. Who was the third? I don't even know who that was.
Jordan Elliott.
Let me look him up real quick. I want to see the profile first. All right.
All right. The reason why,
Missouri,
and then if you wanted to wait until the 4th round, you might be able to get a Devon Hamilton who had a lot of sacks from the interior and can transition to the nose. Or if you really want to wait, you can go with Bravion Roy from Baylor. He He's in the 6th round as a nose tackle.
I like him.
But
I like him.
yeah.
So here's my thing, Dwayne. This is how I truly feel. And again, and obviously, and by the way, I wanted to say this live to you, man. I'm impressed that you knowing your stuff. You definitely know your college players because of some of the guys you've been naming off. I know, and I know a lot of other people don't know. And then you're naming a few guys that I haven't even looked into. So I want to say this. This is how I feel about your 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round guys. And it doesn't mean that they're going to be bust or anything like that, because some of your greatest talent of all time comes out of those rounds. The issue is it's always a guy who you're hoping will become the guy for that position. There are some really good guys coming that you can find in those areas. It's just the simple fact that when you put them up against the NFL elite, are they going to stack up? We know what they did in college. We know that
that's any prospect though in the draft.
Yeah, it's any prospect, but then you have your 1st and 2nd round guys where you've seen them against some of the greatest competition as well at that level, and you got a better gauge on what you can expect, even if you're wrong, but you have a better feel on it. But some of these guys in 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round, not all of them, but when you look at the competition they played and how they played in that competition, it usually doesn't stack up, because if it did, then they would be noticed to be up there in the 1st, 2nd round. And that's where it gets kind of difficult. You look at these guys out there in those later rounds and you start asking yourself, are they hopefuls or are they day one guaranteed? And can we really say that any of those guys are ready to plug that spot and be not elite, but be great at what they're doing?
I think they'd be better than Avery Moss. I think they'd be better than Jenkins.
Well, maybe not Jenkins, but definitely Avery Moss.
Now, Jenkins.
Definitely Avery Moss.
Well, you're looking at 2 different profiles when you say Jenkins too. When you say definitely not Jenkins, are they going to hold down the middle, or do they have the ability to get to the quarterback aspect to them as well? See, that's the difference in nose tackle. You got guys who are anchors, and that's what you want up that middle. But then you got guys that are anchors and they pose a threat to get to the quarterback. And
that's what. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, and then you have guys that
Derek
only.
Brown. That's and see TD, like TD. Those guys that have that dual ability, those are the ones that get picked in the top 5, like Derek Brown.
That's my point. So when we're looking at
nose tackle.
So the guys that you just named, those guys have both of those threats and are going to thrive in both of those areas in the NFL?
I think Devon Hamilton does, and I think that Raekwon Davis has.
Nice. So, and I wasn't asking that to say nothing. I was asking that as a question. So I appreciate it.
Raekwon Davis.
So that's interesting, because I'm glad you actually brought that up, Dwayne, because that's my most nervous position for this team. And I keep saying it. Where are we going to find a nose tackle? If we can find a guy in the 3rd, 4th round that can be that guy, then it's the ultimate steal to me.
Yeah.
It's
you want to stop.
I'll be in a minute.
You want to keep the defense off the field. The best way to do that is to get those, and I say that, you want to get those 3 and outs. And the best way to do that is to stop a team on 1st down.
1st down, yeah. That's why I keep saying we need that anchor.
Nose tackle position. And believe me, I got so tired of watching 2nd and 4, 2nd and 3, second and 1. You know,
yeah. I mean, we wish we had 2nd and 8.
Hey, I gotta tip my hat to you, bro. You know what you're talking about. I think I've heard somebody say that exact same thing a couple months back on this same panel.
It wasn't EM.
On the same hill. I could have sworn I said somebody said the exact same thing, even verbatim to what you just said. And I got ridiculed for it. But
no, I would actually admit to you,
homie.
I would actually admit to you, EM. I would actually admit to you, EM, and don't ever think I'm gonna do something like this again. But you're the one who actually has me paying more attention to the nose tackle position, because what I'm realizing, and I mean I knew this, is just that I'm starting to realize that nose tackles come in more than 3 ways. I mean, they come in so many different forms, and it's rare to find that guy, that Derek Brown. So let me just name out some of the several ways that people have to realize when we talk about nose tackles up the middle. You got a guy who can rush the quarterback. He's smaller, but he may not get anchor the middle. Then you got a guy who can anchor the middle and don't get pushed back. Then you got a guy who can anchor the middle, don't get pushed back, but he can also get penetration to get in the backfield in the run game. Then you got a guy who can actually rush the court.
TD, you chopping up, bro.
My bad, but you got so many different.
TD, you chopping up, bro.
I think it might be on your end, Ian.
He sounds smooth here.
Yeah, you got so many different guys. You got so many different guys at the nose tackle position that you can look at. But if you want to get that position right, he got to be an anchor that can't get pushed back. So he got to be 300 plus. I mean, 320 is what you really would love. Then you got to get a guy who can also get penetration in the backfield. When the ball is hiked, he's disrupting it. Then you got to get a guy on third down, which most of them aren't even 3-down guys. They're first down and second down guys. But if you could also find that triple threat where the guy can also pose a threat to the quarterback, you got a nose tackle of a lifetime. And that's what many are saying that Derek Brown could possibly be. And that's why whenever I talk about third and fourth round guys, they have one of those deficiencies. And so, Dwayne, you're saying these guys, some of these guys may not?
I'm saying that you may have to pick two of them. One that has that penetration ability for the run game as well. That would be, if that's what Flores is thinking about for first and second down, then you want a Neville Gallimore or a Raekwon Davis. If you want somebody who can rush the passer from the nose position, then you're talking about a Devon Hamilton or a Bravion Roy or even a Josiah Coatney, who you could get in the 6th and 7th round. And you have that flexibility to be able to, for substitution purposes, for down and distance purposes, you could swap those guys out to meet the ultimate goal, which is to stop the team from getting accomplishing that third down successfully.
Yeah, so and some people don't understand when you talk about nose tackles, it's just like the nickel position. They're situational players. Nose tackle position, just like the nickel. If it's a rundown, you got a specific type of nose tackle that you want. So that's the question that we have to answer for the Miami Dolphins or start to pay attention to. Do they want a guy? Do they want a guy that's elite that can do it all, or do they want situational guys, multiple guys?
It depends on what's available to you in the draft. Now, if you got a chance to get a Derek Brown, then obviously you go get a Derek Brown. And that way you just solve all those questions right then and there. Because he's 3-down capable. He can rush the passer and he can stuff the run. But if he's gone, gone at 5, or you prioritize it where you want a quarterback, or you have Isaiah Simmons still available at 5, then you gotta make a decision. But in my eyes, you would either pick Simmons or Tua ahead of Derek Brown.
So let me.
But if
you go Simmons first.
Then of course you're gonna pick the nose tackle, because this guy can rush the passer and he can stuff the run, penetrate, and anchor.
Yeah.
I think the priority needs to be, they need to find a player that's better suited against the run, because when they're getting situationally on third down, you got 2 pretty darn good edge rushers, 3 really that you brought in with Van Noy, Agba, as well as Shaq Lawson. So generally now when you're when third down comes, the pressure is going to come from number 1, scheme, and number 2, either from either edge player, or it just depends, how they anticipate playing the offense from a formation standpoint, schematic standpoint, on that particular possession. But primarily, when you talk about third down, the pressure generally doesn't come from
the interior. It comes from the edges. So I think with that being said, the biggest issue with this team, 32nd against the run. I've been telling y'all that all year. 32nd against the run. They need a more player that's generally an anchor, a first and second down anchor in the middle. Now, if they find a player that gives you that ability, that's a plus. But I think as far as, they need to prioritize an anchor, a player that's better suited against the run, that a space eater, as opposed to a player that excels in, one gap penetration, getting up the field and getting pressure on the quarterback from the interior.
And that would be Raekwon Davis.
That would be Raekwon Davis.
Okay, so I'm gonna make sure. Hold on,
but
make sure I get that down because I want to look into this because that's my biggest thing, man. We gotta get a nose tackle, man. But I understand that we're not gonna get Derrick Brown. So it's when you look at the rest of the first round and the rest of the second round, I don't think there's somebody who fits the profile that I like that's even worth it outside of Brown. So
no, you can get either one of those. You can probably get Gallimore or Raekwon Davis with the 39th or the 56th pick.
My bad. I'm just putting that in my notes.
You don't think they'll be there? You don't think they'll be there? You don't think Raekwon Davis will be there in the third round? You think?
Because of the value that, in my opinion,
I think he'll be there in the third.
In my opinion, I think that they should be focusing on either a center or a running back with that 70th pick. In my drafts that I envision, because I'm talking about getting a quarterback, a tackle, a safety, a nose tackle, a running back, and then either a guard or a center. Now, I could go guard with the 39th pick, depending if John Simpson is still there, but the need for a nose tackle is evident. The stats call that out, identify that. That's a glaring need because you've got your defensive ends, edge rushers between Wilkins, Ogba, Shaq, Van Noy, Van Ginkel.
Some could argue top 3 need.
But you need somebody. The Dolphins are just like in baseball. You need strength in the center at catcher, short and second base, and center field. The Dolphins lack strength in the middle of every part of the team. They lack strength at nose tackle. They need a middle linebacker, and I'm not saying they're gonna get it in this draft. I'm not saying that at all. Maybe with what they've added, Raekwon McMillan and Baker can play better but they need strength up the middle. And that also includes the safety positions. They've gotten their wings, they've got the skill positions, they got the wings, the outside edge covered, but now they need to focus on the middle. They need another center, unless you're going to dedicate Dieter to center. They need a center. They need a guard if you're not going to give it to Davis or Dieter, and they need 2 tackles. Now, depending on how the draft goes, you're going to get 1 tackle. You still need a center to back up Karras. I don't like the fact of moving players out of their main position to satisfy a need for the team.
Yeah,
they don't have any depth behind Karras unless
right. So that's why I was saying that they need to draft a center, and you have 3 or 4 very good centers between Biotish, Ruiz, Cushenberry, and Hennessy that can be drafted in between the 2nd and 3rd round. So that's why I was saying that you might not want to go with a nose tackle at 70. You might want to get him at 56.
And another thing that people need to realize, you're right. The Karras, and everybody knows that he's a center as well. People have to realize they can't rely on Karras to be a guy on this team because he's only on a 1-year deal.
That's another point.
That a lot of people, we got Karras. Okay, now everybody knows he's a starter and he's a day one. He's a starter on this team. Okay, it'd be hard for him to get beat out if you ask me, based off of this roster, and if we bring in some young talent. Karras is going to be on that starting line, in my opinion. Some may disagree, but again, this is a 1-year deal that we got this guy. We didn't sign him on a 3-year like everybody else, or not even a 2-year. This is a 1-year, $4 million deal. So that tells you that is a priority in this draft.
Oh, absolutely. I think, I think really, with the exception of the edge and the linebacker position, maybe in the first round, I don't think any additions that they made on the offensive line is going to affect their draft strategy in terms of addressing offensive line. I really don't, especially on the interior. I think they got, like you just said, TD, a 1-year deal. Well, I'm not going to say that because he could turn out to be. He played well last year. He could really turn out to be a fine for us this year. But they have Karras. I'm talking about the center position. But unless they start cross training Michael Dieter, which that would be my preference. I think Dieter skill set translate. I think he would be an ideal center. I think he'd play well in the middle. But unless they start cross training him, they have absolutely nobody listed on the depth chart behind Karras. Absolutely nobody.
And that is the reason why you might see the Dolphins draft a guard with one of those late first round, early second round picks, because if you transition Dieter to center, then you are in need of another guard, and that could be done with either John Simpson or another guard later on in the draft. Now, you have some, Tremaine Ankrum, you have Jack Driscoll. He plays center, but he also can play guard. Mm-hmm. You have Michael Onwenu. You have
Shane Lemieux.
Benson.
Shane
Lemieux. That's right. And I forgot one that's really
Shane Lemieux from Oregon.
What's the guy? Natani. From Washington. Nick Harris and Natani. Boy, I'm at a blank right now. But any one of those three can play guard and be a possible day one starter. Because
I think Shane Lemieux would be an excellent if they were to get him. If they were to get Lemieux like in the third, anywhere from the third and further back in the draft, that's excellent value because I think that kid could potentially come in and be a day one starter for you.
Yeah,
I really do. I just don't know if Miami wants to make a higher investment on him. Whether it be one of the first round picks or definitely not.
Oh
the first
no, he's
round,
not a first.
Maybe
Shane doesn't rate the first round pick.
Right. Not even a second round. Not even a second round.
No.
So if they could get him,
he's projected to be in the fourth round. If you could, it would be a steal to get him in the 5th round. But he's projected somewhere in the 4th round. Now,
beginning of the year, at the beginning of the year, he was projected to go even in a lot of people had him as a 2nd round talent. So I think that he had he didn't have. I think the reason why he's sliding. Now, again, these are all projections because our evaluation and what NFL teams' evaluation of him are two different things. So I know coming into this year, this dude was projected to be a high 2nd round pick potentially. So because of the year, he slipped a little bit in terms of his production this year at Oregon, which is, in my opinion, is the reason why he's sliding in some people's mock drafts or in some people's mock drafts. But
the dude, I mean, the talent is there. So I think even if Miami got him in the third, I would even make a third round investment on him because he's a second round talent from a talent standpoint.
That's a guard.
Right guard.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right guard.
Here's my thing. Here's where it gets tricky, guys, because I know that like we're talking about guard because I know Karras can play guard too. Okay, and the thing that here's the wild card. I don't know if we really invest in the draft this year that heavy or if it's next year. Here's why. Karras' 1-year deal is obviously a prove it deal. Because a big part of it, he could also be the future. He could be the guy that next year gets a 3-year deal and solidifies a position that we're talking about filling right now, whether that's center or guard. Because another reason why he got the 1-year deal. So I'm starting to backtrack on we're looking for that position to replace is because he actually had an MCL sprain with New England last year. And that's why they did the 1-year deal and only $4 million. So I don't want to write him off completely and say that we're looking to replace it in the draft yet. But that's where this is where it's parts of our roster that confuses me in that regard, because if he turns out to be the guy, if they're hoping on him, return from the MCL sprain, it wasn't a bad injury. But if he returns from this just fine, then do you think that we're really going to attack it in the draft?
Well, I look at it like this. TD.
It messes up draft position. Do we go early or late? Because that sounds like a later round pick.
This is what I would do. My favorite center in this entire draft is Cesar Ruiz from Michigan. Okay, that kid is extremely versatile, can play left, right guard, as well as center. So if you select him with, let's say, with one of your second round picks, okay, and you select him as depth at this point, and Karras comes in, plays well, and he warrants a further investment in terms of his contract. Okay, you've got Ruiz who can easily transition to the right or left spot. The right guard, because I think Eric Flowers is going to hold that down for the foreseeable future. So he can immediately transition, I think, to the right guard spot. So you covering yourself if you you select a player of his caliber, because he warrants.
You're getting a player that has versatility. So even if Karras works out, then you have another guy.
Slide on the right guard. Okay. Exactly. So that's what I would do.
And you know what? The need for a center that could possibly transition to guard is not a bad idea, but also the fact that there are so few quality players on the offensive line for the Dolphins that you cannot pass up the opportunity to have an heir apparent / possible starter at another position.
Yeah.
Okay, because we see for the last couple of years the injury aspect of that has had an impact on the offensive line for the Dolphins. You need to have quality players. I don't believe that just having those 5 and the rest be inadequate is a necessary state that you want to come into the season with. You want quality, and I'm sorry, I didn't see a lot to hang my hat on with the offensive line, especially the interior. Well, you know what? The whole line. And everybody could come up with some excuses for Jesse Davis and the tight end, the blocking tight end, Smurf, or whatever his name is. There's got to be a significant upgrade in the offensive line. And you can get significant players in the third round at center. You can get that again in the 5th round at guard and center.
Especially with this coaching staff.
Huh?
Especially with this coaching staff, because they can make them even better than what they were projected.
But
I
see,
mean,
you know something though, to be honest with you, if they were to select Ruiz at some point in the second or third round, ideally you're probably going to second. I mean, I would even entertain starting him at right guard day one. I mean, that dude can come in and start at either interior position day one on pretty much maybe 90% of the teams in the NFL right now. He's that good. And he fits that power profile that I think, of course, you know, that they are trying to implement. You know what I mean? I would draft him. And again, if Karras goes down, slide in the guard, you have options in the event Karras doesn't hold up long, you know, for 16 games. So me personally,
either way, you could slide Dieter to center and move him to guard, or move Ruiz to guard and Dieter to center, flip flop them either way you want.
Yeah, you got options. You got options.
But
Quality options.
You got options, and the reason why I mentioned Tremaine Ankrum and or Jack Driscoll, because each one of those players has played all three positions.
That's Flores. That's a prototypical Flores player that can play multiple positions, man. Hey, Dwayne, I wanted to pause for a moment. Let everybody know who you are and where you're from, man.
My name is Dwayne. I'm right now. I am living in Columbus, Ohio. I'm originally from New York City.
Oh, that's
I've been a Miami Dolphin fan since 1971.
He made it, huh?
And the thing is, my first grade teacher, put a sign up, a picture of that ugly star and that beautiful fish. And I chose the fish, and I've been a Dolphin fan ever since.
I love it, man.
That's what's up.
Because I'm from New York,
don't do it. Just to keep it to yourself. Don't do it.
But I root for the Giants, for home team.
Oh, the Giants! I ain't mad at you. I thought you were gonna say the Jets, man.
No, But there's no way I could ever root for the Jets. I'm a Dolphin fan.
Man.
I been with them. I've been with them from the Sea of Hands, the Super Bowls, the Sea of Hands, the Fred Silver bad call with the Patriots and the Colts game that denied the Dolphins a playoff berth. I've been with them for the Mud Bowl. I've been with them for the fake spike. I've been with them through Bullygate. I've been with them through this very bad start to this season, and I will always be a Dolphin fan, no matter what. That's my number one team, and I want the best for Flores. I call him the Black Guru because I think that he is the right man at the right time for this team.
I agree.
It's time to change the ways of the past, man. But Dwayne, we appreciate you coming through and basically adding value to what we're doing, man.
Nice to meet you, homie. Nice to meet you, bro.
Nice to meet you, gentlemen, man.
And feel free to come through anytime, man. And hit me up an email if you get a chance, all right?
Okay.
Hey,
y'all take care.
All right, man. Appreciate you so much.
All right, bro.
I am. I'm about to get up out of here, man. My wife, I told her I was going to go live for an hour, and it looked like 2 hours and 23 minutes. So y'all got to thank her next time y'all see her for the extended stream tonight. We have movie night, man.
I hear you, bro. I wasn't even planning on getting on here, but y'all was spewing too much before.
Whatever, man.
I had to get on here and set y'all straight, bro. I could only take it so much. I was like, oh hell no. Let me check these clothes real quick.
Listen, man. I'm gonna tell you like this, man. I always tell you this backstage, man. I appreciate you for what you do, and at the end of the day, man, you already know I always gotta have somebody that's wrong on the show. So, hey, man, just keep coming through for us, man. You feel a good boy.
I hear you, man. I hear you, bro. It's all good. Hey, got nothing but love for you, though.
Same here, man.
Even with that, with you just making that statement, hey, I got nothing but love for you, homie. You already know that.
Man, you know I'm messing,
it's
but
all good.
I appreciate
good,
you.
homie.
I'm gonna hit you up later, bro. All right, everybody, man. What a show tonight, man. I'm actually impressed myself, man. We heard some really good stuff. We had some great scenarios. And by the way, listen, y'all, I want to see if y'all even remember. I'm gonna see how many people was in this stream long enough. Who started this whole thing, this whole conversation that got crazy? Let me see. I want to see if anybody can put it in the comment section right now. Who started this whole crazy conversation, man, that just got it turned wild and it ended up being amazing, man? Who started this with their suggestion for the Miami Dolphins? Let's see if y'all remember which subscriber, the one that started all of this mess, man. Hey, and well, he the first one to answer. Pete Martinez, man. Pete started all this, man. Shout out to Pete for coming through tonight, man. I'm going to tell y'all, Pete said some crazy stuff. One day he loved Rosen and the next day he hate him, so I don't know. I don't be knowing what be on Pete's mind. But Pete started all this stuff, man. But we appreciate you, Pete. You added value tonight, man. I appreciate that. This was a good one, man. And thanks again to Dwayne, everybody who came in, giving their opinions and their thoughts. Esteban, Minister Bruce Jones, Sharif. Man, I know I'm missing like 2 or 3 people, but y'all forgive me, man. It was just so many, but it was an amazing stream today. It's the ball game as always. Can't wait to see you guys again. It's time to enjoy some time with the family. But if you could do me a favor, hit that like button. Let your friends and family members know about TD Phins Talk. As always, we're doing bigger and better things, man. We're moving on, and we're making this a show for everyone to tune into, man. It's been great, especially the last few nights on the stream. I think I have a good time to stream now where everybody's available. Because these have been some very powerful, amazing streams. And a lot of people say it ain't nothing to talk about right now, but we make it something over here at TD Phins Talk, guys. I also wanted to give you a quick update. We had just hit the threshold of 8,000 subscribers just last week. I appreciate everybody's help doing that. Already in about a week, we're at about 8,161 subscribers. We definitely want to try to move that number to about 8,250. So we got 89 more to go, guys. Let's move it on one piece at a time. Help this be the #1 YouTube show there is with TD Phins Talk. Let them know that the Dolphins are back, baby. We're back. We're ready to win Super Bowl after Super Bowl after Super Bowl. And to all the Dolphin fans that continuously come in the comment section hating on TD Phins Talk. And when I say TD Phins Talk, I ain't talking about me. I'm talking about our family, all of y'all watching. The people who come on hating, listen, you can't break what we're about to do. You can't stop what we are about to do. We're about to win. So keep your comment to yourself when y'all still gonna be nothing. You'll never amount to nothing. Nobody entertaining that trash, man. We're about to own the NFL. So stop hating, okay? Stop hating, man. Get over it already, all right? Just notice what we've been doing and we're on our way. So be scared, okay? What did he say? Oh, my bad. But yes, man, we're doing bigger and better things. I appreciate everybody coming through. We got about 2.5 minutes before it's at 2.5 hours. Let me just read some of y'all's comments real quick. Tell them, TD. And TD, bring the trash today. Bring the trash today. Try my best, man. Bringing the I don't know what to mean. Okay. Take care. Let me see. I just can't wait till we draft or our offensive lineman and get whatever quarterback, in my opinion. It's coming, guys. It's coming, man. It is coming, and I'm excited about it. Me and the wife are about to watch a movie. And let me tell you something about my wife. I'm trying to catch her up on movies. You know, to be honest, she was sheltered as a young one, so she's never watched anything outside of Disney. She's never watched anything outside of Disney movies her entire life. So I'm catching her up on all the ethnic movies. And some of y'all know what I'm talking about. And now we're on to other kind of movies because I done got her caught up to all kind of stuff. So we're going to watch 2012 tonight. If you haven't watched 2012, go check it out. Just one of those, thrillers with the world and the earth and all that type of stuff. So we're going to watch that tonight. It's a 2.5-hour movie, by the way. So we're going to catch that one until we go to sleep. We're going to catch it at about 9 o'clock. So if you need a movie to watch tonight and you've never seen 2012, check out 2012. I like the movie. It's a pretty good one. So Y'all go check it out, man. But again, thank y'all for tuning in to TD Phins Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. And when I say real Miami Dolphin fans, I ain't trying to be a knock on anybody else, but I know that every fan here, they are real because they show their passion, they show their anger, they show their excitement, they show it all over here, man. We real fans. I love y'all, love y'all, love y'all. I will see y'all soon. Peace. I feel like a freestyle because I'm about to run a mile, not in this environment with all this stuff out here. Never mind. Let me stop freestyling. All right. It's your boy. I'm out, y'all. Peace.